We're back on the queue. It's fuel day today. We've had a crack at the fuel system on the Fairlane, so we think we're pretty good at it. We're not good at it. Yeah, now basically we're up to the stage now we're going to finish off the fuel, basically set the fuel up on this today. We need to run the regulator. We're just using the same Raceworks regulator that we used on the Fairlane, now that we're familiar with it. We need to run lines from the tank to the front, obviously. It's really not that much, to be honest. Actually, we haven't gone through the fuel pump and the install, so we might need to do a flashback now to explain what we did with that.
That's true, yeah.
Let's make that happen now. So we're going to put the fuel pump in. So this came from Castlemaine Rod Shop. It also is the sender as well too, so it all just plugs into this. So it's nice and easy, nice and simple. We've got fuel out and return, which I just realised, you know how we're arguing before, which is fuel in and which is return?
Yeah.
F and R is printed on the top.
Well, of course it is.
So it's dumb-proof. Anyway, we knew that.
You know, hang on. We got to fix this now.
Now we fix that. So now we always know which is fuel and which is return. So this is like a universal fuel pump sender thingy. The reason being is because it can compress to suit whatever height tank that you're working with, obviously within certain limits. But because the HQ tank is a very shallow tank, this won't fit in the standard HQ because it's just too shallow. That's why Tin Man made the box so it actually sits up a little bit more to get it to work nice and correctly, I suppose. But what we need to figure out now is we need to figure out the sender, because we need to figure out where full mark is basically. So what I did before is I went over to the fuel tank and I measured the depth from the top ring to the bottom of the fuel tank, and I got that to be 255. So I'm going to just bring this down to 255 roughly. Very technical tooling right here. So that's 255, so that's the length that it sits at inside the tank. And now we just need to figure out where our sender goes. Our sender plugs in like that, and the top of the fuel tank outside the box where this sender is going to go is 120 mil down from the top. So roughly there. And the issue is it's not going to be all the way at full. So full, I assume, is all the way like that, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to bend this.
We need to bend the arm.
Quite substantially down.
Yeah, so got to like bend that down. The only my concern now is that
getting it in.
No, the tank. Is it going to hit the back of the tank?
No, it's got heat.
Does it?
Oh, I see your point.
See, what I'm wondering now is, do we maybe cut this arm?
And make it shorter?
Yeah, so it's not so extended out.
If you shorten it, you might not get the range though, that's the only thing. How badly do you need a fuel gauge?
Mate, I've gone without a fuel gauge in a lot of my cars for a long time.
See, because it also needs to hit empty too.
Yeah. Well, maybe... Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
How do we do it? Can someone tell us, please? Let me have a think about it for 2-3 minutes. We'll get back to you. When it comes up all the way to full, right? The top of the tank from the bottom is about 135, right? That's the ceiling of the tank type thing.
Yeah.
So obviously full should be at the ceiling of the tank.
Yeah.
So that's set of 130 I'm making it, because it's roughly 5 mil higher than the actual thing.
Yeah.
So what you do is you just angle it straight until you hit 130, then go straight across, and then you can put your float anywhere along this, right? But how you decide where that float's going to go, this is just my guessing, is when this comes down, then you figure out how high you want your float to get your what is basically empty, and you want to leave, 5 litres or maybe 10 litres of reserve, maybe, I don't know. So to do that, you just move this up and down along this, because it doesn't matter where you put this, because wherever it comes up, it's flat, so that just means it comes out to there. It's still going to read full there, still going to read full there, but down here it's going to read empty between here and there, so I probably want to put it about there.
Yeah, just to, because it picks up from the bottom there, so...
Yeah, so I reckon probably about there, that gives you, should be enough fuel.
Yeah.
It's not the sort of car that you're ever going to really run down to empty anyway, because it's not like it's a daily.
Yeah.
If it's, I always fill my old cars up about half anyway, because it's the most driving you do in a day. So I've been playing with this for far longer than I probably should be, I reckon. The main reason being is because we did say that we'd just sort of leave it so that it would read empty true, and then whatever full would be would be full, but that was annoying me. I couldn't deal with it. So I've come up with what I think will work, which is if this was the old bracket and the float used to go there, this is the new float. Bear with me. So that obviously goes in there. That'll give us a little bit of reserve, a fair bit of reserve as well too, I reckon, of fuel, so empty will be down there. And then when it goes all the way up to full, by my calculations, that should just about hit the top of the tank. So it'll actually read full to empty correctly. The only thing that concerns me is that this is really short, and every other level that I've ever seen or float has a long arm on it. And I feel like that's probably got a lot to do with like leverage and whatnot. So it's probably important. I think maybe what it might mean is it will read full and empty correctly, but might be really super sensitive because it's a shorter arm. It might, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what it means, why people don't do this. We're just going to try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, well then we'll pull it back out and do it a different way. We'll see what happens, but I'm sick of worrying about it, so this is what's happening. I hope it works. I don't want to pull it back. It's got to come back out again anyway, because we're pretty sure we need to drill a hole for this breather up here. We just want to make sure 100% before we do drill that hole, because otherwise we've done it for nothing and then we've got an open port. Doesn't like it. Damn it!
It's gonna be a trick to get out.
Please actually disconnect this to take the force off it so we don't snap
The force.
The force. Put it in like this maybe.
Drops it.
I feel like I'm about to. Oh,
What are you doing?
I've nearly got it. Clip in. We'll take a little bit off this and I reckon it'll work. Just going to be a pain to get in and out, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. This is really tedious.
Almost looks like you need another hand.
I'm guessing you're not going to give me one?
Oh, I was just saying I'm busy on the camera.
There we go.
There you
She's in. So that should still work. Turn that around.
Bloody beautiful.
Put that over. So that squishes down like we were talking about. These go in, bada bing, bada boom.
We haven't talked
Fuel,
about it yet.
plug it in, plug power to it, and hopefully we'll have fuel pump.
Fuel pump.
work.
While Michael's been doing that, what did I do? Oh yeah,
What?
I got the chrome trim on finally. It's been annoying me. this time.
Priorities. Priorities.
And we're back.
And we're back, and nothing's changed. Yeah. So
Drop the car down and then we'll mount the rake.
yeah, we're going to get the reg in first, figure out where that's going to go. Then we need to get one of the quick release fittings off the manifold, the fuel rail, sorry, which we don't have the right tool to do so. So we're going to have to try and figure out how we're going to get that off. We had a crack the other day and gave up, but today we have to get it done. So let's do that, hey? Right here, just because it looks pretty and it's a good spot for it, I reckon. Because it fits in nicely. So
It works spot on.
yeah, so our fuel into the manifold will be coming into here. It's not a deadhead system, is it? Is that a deadhead system if it's not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a deadhead system because it doesn't return
There's
from
no
the
return from the rail.
from the rail. So the way that we think that Holden did it is a deadhead system anyway. So they have only one line running to the fuel rail and they don't have any return going back to the tank. So we're going to do basically the same. Fuel will come in through
Side.
the side, this side here, then come out through here into the fuel rail, and then our return will be through here. So we've got to run a return line as well too. So we're hoping we have enough line, but we should. We ordered a
We got
fair bit
heaps.
of it. Nutsets? Nutsetta?
Yeah. We just got to make sure we know what's behind there.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much behind there.
Nah, because that was where the accelerator cable bolted to.
Yeah, it looks like it's behind the plenum. So the good thing is there's no fuel in this system, so we're not going to get covered in fuel this time like we did with the Fairlane. But we need to get this off. So I reckon that's what we should try and do first. Try and get this off.
Okay.
Because this could hold the whole day. We can't get this off.
Yeah, I know.
So I'll leave that with you and let me know when it's done. I'm getting inventive again. And yes, we do know that there is a tool for this. Did we remember to get the tool? No. Why can't they just use a hose clamp like a good old fashioned?
People say Holdens are easier to pull apart than Fords. Can't even get a simple fuel line off.
I need that bit.
I like where you're heading though. This is going to work.
You reckon?
Yeah.
And if it does, you know what that means? This
What?
then becomes our Holden quick release fuel fitting release tool thingy. And we'll never buy a real tool. Because we'll be like, nah, we got one. I feel like this isn't going to work.
I feel like you're getting there though. Just needs more of a push.
Someone will be watching this going, don't you know that you just do this and it comes straight off?
Okay, so it's going to be quite the long day.
Just to get one fitting off. These are always the sort of things that hold you up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because look, that's all it is.
Yeah. If only it worked like
It works
that.
so easy there.
Michael's about to do something dodgy, which he never gets caught on camera, so...
Well, we tried to ask nicely and do the right thing and use our special tool that we made, but we think it's time to step it up a notch. Pretty sure this is not recommended.
I'm actually real scared for you.
I hope there's no fuel left in the light. What's the worst that can happen?
Fuel, sparks, your hand, you know, you're not too well with sparks.
Yeah.
Are you going across like that?
Yep. Tried to do the right thing, tried to do it right. Lovely.
Oh wow, look at the mechanism on that.
Easy as. So if you ever wanted to know an easy way to get your Holden quick release fittings out, there you go. Simples. That was easy.
Okay, let's make sure we bought the right fitting that's going to click onto that.
Do we have the release for that fitting? Because I don't want to do the same to the new fitting. Thank you. Ooh! Look at us go. What's the bit we started and just goes...
Nah, that's good that that's on. So now all we got to do is mount the reg.
The reg?
And then we can build that line there and then do our long lines from the tank to the reg.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Oh, baby, please.
I had to finish it. You know like when you start a lyric and you can't finish it?
Do you get a headache if you don't?
Yeah.
Just like Andy out of the office?
So like that. Easy peasy.
Will the gauge still fit?
Lemon squeezy. It's just gonna go like that.
Will the gauge fit?
Okay. I think it's better not hit the rail. If it does, I'm going to not do anything. Nut misses. Thank God. Plus that gauge has to go in a bit more anyways. Alrighty.
Perfect.
Let's mark it, drill it, nutsert it, bolt it.
Send her away.
Square.
That was loud.
I love nutserts. So that's that. That comes off the rig.
Just a little line. What are you doing?
Trying to screw it up.
I know that, but
Get on! That'll do. That's our line. Goes from the reg to the rail. Reg to the rail. What we're going to do is just give it a spray out with some brake clean. Make sure there's no junk in there. because we did cut the hose with the angle grinder, and we can put it on.
This is gonna look neat.
Yeah, I know. If I've made it
Yeah.
too long. Damn. It's 10 mil too long. It's hard to know where the hose ends. See, I thought it ended right up here. That's why.
I guess your fingernail wasn't an exact measure.
All right, we'll cut it back 10 mil, I think. So the good thing about these is because people make mistakes, because we're only human.
We just tend to make a lot more than most.
You can buy the olives again. So because this squishes into the nylon, you can't reuse it.
Yeah.
And it crimps it, whatever it does. So we actually bought some olives because we knew we might make a few mistakes. So all we're gonna do is just, damn it, cut the hose back to what I want, what I need, slide the new olive in, do it up again. Easy peasy. So that line is made. Michael's now plumbing up the rear line.
It's just getting the start of them can be really tricky sometimes. So we'll just zip tie it to the exhaust, you reckon? And then we just got to get it through here somehow. That's going to be the biggest chunk.
Lovely.
So here's something you don't see very often in the Hackshop garage. A tape measure coming out before we, or not tape, but a measurement tool coming out before we drill a hole.
So we're thinking in between these two ribs, yeah?
Yeah, I reckon just in the middle there.
Let's do it!
Estimation is key.
Woo! Get you some of that.
Oh, there goes a tooth for sure.
Yep.
Tooth, that's a whole side. Oh, my poor hole saw.
Alright, so
Yeah.
that's it.
Paint it and feed the line through.
Yeah, so we're not dodgy boys. We're going to put a grommet around the hole, the exposed area,
Yep.
and then push it through, but we'll get a grommet later. At the
Yep.
moment, we'll just plumb it all. Sheet metal filing! It's wrong file! It's too big! Alright, follow me. Okay. So first we go through this one. Oh no!
Did it kink?
No, it's on the wrong side.
Oh, that's made my day. Someone had to do it. I'm glad it's you and not me.
Oh. Okay. Very nice, Gary.
How's it look?
Yeah, good. You don't even know it's there. And then we'll P-clip that there.
Stealthy line.
Stealth. That's what it's all about, stealth.
So we're putting in our first mount. We've got this cool little double adapter, double bracket thingy. We're going to put that in through now.
Yep.
And then these ones here, we bought P-clips for to run through here, but the P-clips turned out to be too small. So we're going to have to order some new ones, and we'll just do them at a later stage.
Alright. That's going to go like that.
There they are. So we've made some progress, some pretty good progress. We're pretty happy where we're at. The lines come down, it's hard to see for you guys, but it runs down over the firewall here. And then it runs back to this beautiful fitting right here.
Fitting or bracket?
Fitting, bracket, whatever you want to call it, I suppose. Whatever floats your boat. Goes into there, into the chassis rail, just like the standard one would. We need to get some P-clips, obviously, to P-clip them into place. It'll run down the length of the chassis rail. Then it runs up here, through the hole, over the top, and it's somewhat protected by this member here as well too, which is good. This strut brace, whatever you call it, or coil brace. And then runs in, and then it'll hook into our fuel tank. The one thing that we have forgot to order, which Well, one, we got the wrong size P-clips, so we need to order new P-clips, which is a good thing because we also need to order a fuel filter because we forgot to get a fuel filter. And we're thinking what we'll do with the fuel filter is run it just in the back of the tank here. Although, if we have to change the fuel filter, then you're filling the boot full of fuel.
Okay, looks like we're running the fuel filter along.
Yeah,
here.
so we might run the fuel filter in here actually on second thoughts because of that exact reason. And that way we can put a nice bracket in here as well too, and it's out of the way, it's safe, and you won't fill your boot full of fuel if we have to change it ever. It's good. Now that we're getting the hang of these fittings a little bit, it's becoming a lot easier than what it once was.
My car was the test mule.
Yeah, and which was funny because it was more work than this one was. But we'll bring it down. And we make, what do you got? We got one last fitting and then we're done, aren't we?
Yeah.
Until we get more parts. WD-40, it's either a little bit or everything. You ever noticed that?
Yeah.
So the standard kit doesn't come with this bit drilled out, this breather. It's sealed up. The reason why we drilled it out is because obviously this is the highest point of our tank, and if we had an airlock in here, you've got about that much worth of air trying to get out of there. So we're going to run the vent out here. We'll run it in following these lines in through there, and probably going to end up with a charcoal canister up the front because we had a look. It's a big unit. It's not really going to fit in here all that well, so it's going to have to go up the front, unfortunately. Nothing we can really do about it, I suppose. That's it. We have fuel lines running to the engine now. That was a bit easier than the Fairlane. We're just got to figure this sucker out. I reckon we're looking good. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon. Looks good.
The last piece for today that we forgot about.
Piece of resistance.
Let's set this back up. And we are done for today.
How's it going?
Oh, Jesus. Shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it. Doom 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 doom.
Where can you buy good quality cheap bolts?
Good quality cheap bolts. Everyone, good quality
But cheap.
cheap bolts. You can fit like 2 Nathans in the back of this thing.
2? I would have said 3.
3, you reckon?
You just have to be real comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
It's true though, isn't it? Whenever you're in the car, the person outside the car all of a sudden becomes your gopher or the bitch and grabs every piece that you need.
That's so funny because it's so true. Oh man.
And if it's your dad that's in the car and you're the one out here, all you hear is, hold the light properly. I can't see. Grab the light, hold it like this, properly.
You're holding it wrong. What are you doing?
Just straight to the rib? Yeah, no, just right in the hip bone. Right in the sensitive spot.